was working super hard on a makeup tutorial show. She was teaching smoky eyes to folks out there who really wanted to know when some freaky deaky science stuff only understood by nerds zapped her into old radio shows, the kind you might never have heard. Now she should probably be trying to get out, but Madison, she's having fun, living an old-time radio life. Our explanation is done.
Madison is on the air.
The man in the saddle is angular and long-legged. His skin is sun-dyed brown. The gun in his holster is gray steel and rainbow mother-of-pearl. Its handle unmarked. People call them both the six-shooter. Madison on the Air presents a transcribed radio drama based on the life of Britt Ponset, the Texas plainsman who wandered through the Western Territories, leaving behind a trail of still-remembered legends. Oh, and Madison Standish, who wandered through old-time radio shows, leaving behind a lot of really annoyed people.
I sure couldn't figure it. I'd ridden down the whole of Main Street, all the way from Seth Tooley's bank to Ma Benson's rooming house, and I hadn't seen a single solitary person. Stores were closed up tight. There wasn't even a wagon or a horse out in front of them. Well, it looked like the town of Elk Point had just up and gone to sleep. But that didn't make sense either. Not at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Whoa, Scar. Oh, boy. Well, Ma Benson would know what the trouble was. She always had a pretty good notion about everything that went on in Union County. You know, folks used to always say that's why the Elk Point Gazette kept going broke. The old Sadie Benson was too much competition.
Who is it?
Britt Ponset.
Britt Ponstar?
Yeah, I mean, no. Say, is Ma Benson there?
Ma, you know a Britt Ponstar?
Ponset. It's Britt Ponset.
Yeah, okay, Ma. How do we know it's you?
Tell Ma to come here and open up the door. That might be one way of finding out.
Oh, sure. You just love for me to open the door so you can come in blasting away with your guns.
Well, now, to be fair, I could blast away with my gun through the door. Well, it doesn't really stop bullets, you know.
Is that a threat? Ma!
Oh, for heaven's sake. That sounds like Britt, all right. Let him in.
Howdy, miss. I'm Britt Ponset.
You got some ID? Preferably one of those new real IDs. I know they're thorough, because when I went for mine at the DMV, I had to give a blood sample and pee in a cup just to move to the second window.
What's this now?
Oh, Britt, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Well, don't just stand there. Get inside quick, so I can lock up again.
Oh, sure.
You can't imagine what a fright you gave me when I heard you knocking out there.
Yeah, I could tell something was the matter. Now, who's this young lady? I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, you'd remember if you'd had my pleasure.
This here's Madison Standish. She's boarding with me, Britt. Oh, I must say, there ain't nobody I'd rather see today than you.
Well, that's very flattering, Ma. What's behind that?
Oh, now stop joshing me, Britt. At a time like this, when we all might be murdered any minute.
You really think this skinny guy could be any sort of line of defense?
Skinny? I'm angular and long-legged.
Yeah, and according to Sears, my brother was husky.
What's this about being murdered?
Stacy Gault is headed this way.
And Stacy is a dude. Like, I know it's a gender-neutral name, but aside from Stacy Keach, seriously, can you name a single male Stacy?
Gault?
Besides the one she just said.
Oh, now, Britt.
Come to think of it, all the Brits I know are Britneys, so girls. Except for Britt Reed in the Green Hornet. Was Britt like an old-timey dude's name or something?
Well, I can't say I've ever met a lady named Madison.
Ooh, now there's some return fire right there, Mr. Britt Ponstar.
For the umpteenth time, it's Ponset.
So you don't know the Harrison family out of Vegas?
Can we get back to the outlaw what's loose here in Elk Point and ready to murder us all?
Sorry, Ma, sorry. You said Stacy Gault? I hadn't heard he was in these parts.
I don't even know how I managed to be in these parts. I mean, the Dakotas? It's like I won a trip on a game show that had no budget. I'd rather take the parting gift of rice-a-roni.
You hadn't heard about Gault?
No.
Then what on earth brought you to Elk Point?
Seriously, you could be literally anywhere else.
I was just passing through. I'm away to White River.
White River? Where's that?
The Colorado Territory.
Colorado? Ooh, bad experience on the Coors Brewery tour. Think Augustus Gloop, but instead of chocolate, beer, and instead of Oompa Loompas, Colorado State Troopers.
Whatever brought you here, Britt Ponset, you're heaven sent. That's what you are, heaven sent.
You fast with that gun in your holster?
Fast? Why, they call him the six-shooter.
After the gun I carry.
Then you can call me the iPhone 16, because I can destroy a man's life in one social media post. Pew pew!
Come on out in the kitchen, Britt. We'll fill you in on the news.
Oh, sure.
I was fixing a batch of cornbread. I had to do something to keep myself from thinking about what might happen.
You helping with the cooking there, Miss Standish?
No. Not only do I not cook, but I come from Los Angeles. The possibility of getting murdered is just part of every day for women. So I live my life ignorantly assuming it'll be somebody else.
You can draw up that stool there if you like, Britt.
Oh, thanks.
Madison, hand me them eggs, will ya?
I said I don't cook.
I got the eggs for you, Ma. Here they are.
Well, now, where do I begin?
I don't know. Do you need one of those bread makers hipsters think makes them better than everybody else?
I think Ma means, where does she begin with the story about Gault?
I'll tell it. Stacy Gault robbed a Wells Fargo.
No. The Fargo station over at Fort Chester.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, dear. A Wells Fargo is a bank, and a Fargo station is the depot where stagecoaches leave out with the bank money.
What does Wells Fargo got to do with stagecoaches? Oh my God, their logo! I'd say I was this many years old when I realized that. But since I'm actually in the era of real stagecoaches, does that count?
Look, both of you, I don't see the concern here. Fort Chester is 200 miles away from Elk Point.
Yeah, it is, but that was 10 days ago.
2 weeks.
Either way, I still don't see...
That's why folks didn't get too excited. Not then. We never figured he'd come this far west. He never had before. But last Monday, he was in White River.
Oh, that's so?
And he robbed the White River First National.
That is a bank, right? Not some whitewater rafting company?
Certainly was a bank. Got away with over $50,000. Marshal Andrews, he's the marshal over there, trailed Gault but lost him.
Is Marshal Dillon the only competent Old West marshal or what?
The marshal followed Gault 6 or 7 miles. There weren't no doubt which way Gault was fixing to go.
I see.
Oh, now, where did I put that ham?
How do you lose a ham? Unless you haven't slaughtered the pig yet, and ew! Okay, this is why I don't cook.
Oh, it's right here. I'm just distracted with all this talk of Stacy Gault.
Well, now, none of this is really proof Gault is heading to Elk Point.
Cool your jets! We're not done with the story yet.
Cool my what?
Tell him about that Ed dude.
Just this morning, Ed Scott came barreling into town. Ed seen Stacy Gault last night, riding through the canyon.
Ed saw Gault, huh? I thought you said Gault had never been around Elk Point before.
Well, there's pictures of him, ain't there? On them wanted posters.
Granted, the pictures aren't photos, they're drawings. Like police sketches. Police sketches are never flattering. Which is why I sued the LAPD for defamation, because my forehead is not that big.
Now, I know I've left something out of this batter, if I can only think of what.
So, after Ed came into town, that's when everybody took cover, huh?
Had to, after all the dudes left town in a lynch mob.
A lynch mob?
Oh, my stars, baking powder. You know, when you use sweet milk, you gotta put in baking powder, or the bread just don't raise up at all. Hand me the baking powder, Britt. It's in that cupboard right behind you.
Sure, Ma. But what about this lynch mob?
Oh, she means posse.
By the looks of them, an insane clown posse.
On the second shelf, little red can.
This one here?
Thank you, Britt.
What about Sheriff Henry? It sounds like that'd be his job, wouldn't it?
Sheriff Henry's delivering a prisoner over to county jail at Junction City.
And apparently he's the only cop who works here. Was this town hit by Doge cuts?
Ah, and that's why Main Street's empty.
What else was we to do without a single able-bodied man left to defend us?
I never play the helpless female card, except for when I'm moving. Then I'm all, I can't lift that end of the sofa. Because why sweat when I don't have to?
And of course, that gave Ed Scott his chance to take charge. He's always been the pushing type, wanting to run everything. I guess he figures if he can capture Gault, it'll be a real feather in his cap. Not to mention the $10,000 reward the White River National is offering.
$10,000 in an era when a full steak dinner is a quarter? That'll definitely put him in a higher tax bracket. Maybe then he'll work for Doge.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, isn't it?
It sure is. Can you open that can for me, Britt?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I get guys to open cans for me, too. I spend way too much on manicures to chip them opening a stupid can.
You'll stay for supper, won't you, Britt? In spite of this Gault business?
Well, it would take more than Stacy Gault to talk me out of some of your cornbread. Gee whiz, I'd ride 20 miles just to get a whiff of it.
I once drove 20 miles for one of those shishi cupcakes that were super popular for like a minute. I think they thought cupcakes would take over the donut market. I'm sorry, but if you're not going to deep fry it, you're not going to last.
Well, I'm glad you're staying, Britt. Otherwise, it'd just be me and Madison.
Used to have plenty of boarders, more than you could take care of.
I've still got my boarders, Britt, but they're all out with Ed Scott's posse.
Oh, I see.
I told you there ain't a male between the ages of 10 and 60 left in town besides you.
It's like the year my parents sent me to an all-girls camp. I guess the rosaries and the habits and the vows of silence were supposed to be women empowering, but...
Oh, it was quite a supper. Baked ham with brown sugar dripping down the sides, mashed potatoes, swimming in gravy, enough green lima beans to feed the whole population of Elk Point. And that cornbread, gee whiz, just light, yellow and fluffy, with homemade maple syrup to pour over it. Well, I tell you, when I started eating it, I figured I'd have a hard time making a dent in the plate Ma put before me. Guess you figured a hungry man needs a big supper. Although that Madison, well, I can't explain it, but she kept pace with me through the entire meal. I don't rightly recall any woman I've ever met who ate like that. She kept saying it was her cheat day, and for me to pass the potatoes.
You hoarding potatoes like toilet paper in a pandemic or what? Pass them over.
Now hang on there. I'm moving as fast as I can.
If this is how fast you are with a gun, you might want to avoid any showdowns at high noon.
Yeah, it'd certainly outdraw me with a fork.
You want some more ham, Britt? I can slice you off another piece.
No, I'm fine, Ma, I'm fine. How about you? You hardly touched any of your food. You're not still worrying about Stacy Gault.
Are you going to finish that cornbread?
Miss Standish here doesn't appear to have any concerns.
Cornbread!
Or manners.
Oh, I'm not worried. Not since you showed up. If he comes into town now, you'd take care of him.
But I don't imagine he'll get past Ed Scott's posse.
Ha! Then you don't know Ed Scott very good. Why, he'll have that posse running around in circles. I bet you could drive a herd of cattle right through the middle of them men, and they wouldn't even notice.
I could drive an entire herd of cattle through Texas by the time he hands me that cornbread.
I've seen starving dogs eat slower than you. You want me to answer it?
No, I'll see who it is. You might keep your right hand free, though, just in case.
If your right hand is free...
Here's the cornbread.
Who's there?
Who? It's Seth Tooley.
Seth!
You know, that maple syrup isn't going to pass itself.
You're making me miss trail grub.
Hey there, Britt.
Oh, hello, Seth.
Seth says they ain't caught Gault yet.
That a fact?
Britt, he's in Elk Point. Stacy Gault is in Elk Point. I saw him not 5 minutes ago riding over the South Creek Bridge. He means to rob my bank. I know he does. That's the only thing he could have come for.
Seth, is it?
Yeah.
Want to pass that maple syrup on over here?
Oh, sure.
Well, Seth, you've got more than enough men to take care of Gault, haven't you?
The posse's still combing the hills. Way out in the hills.
Hey, Seth.
Uh-huh.
Salt? Right by your elbow there?
Yeah, sure.
Seth, why ain't you still out with Ed's posse?
Well, my rheumatism started acting up. It was paining me, something terrible. I had to drop out and come back alone.
That rheumatism of yours is sure a convenient sickness sometimes, Seth.
OMG, that's me and my period. You tell a male boss you've got cramps, and you can clock out immediately. No questions asked.
Well, you all can be mighty thankful for my rheumatism tonight. Otherwise, Gault might have gone by unnoticed. We gotta move fast, Britt, before he reaches the bank. I brought my 44. I figured the two of us together...
Now, just hold on, Seth. What makes you so sure the man you saw was Gault?
Oh, it's gotta be him. Fits his description to a T. To a T.
I saw the wanted poster. Could be anybody. To me, the dude looks like Old West Kevin Bacon. Speaking of bacon, pass the ham, will ya?
Pretty dark out there, you know, Seth.
Seth! Ham!
Maybe we ought to take this conversation into the parlor so Miss Standish here can finish her supper.
No! I usually watch TikTok videos while I eat. I need the entertainment. I don't want to be left alone with my thoughts.
Well, now, who on earth?
Don't answer it, Ma. That might be Stacy Gault.
Oh, now, why would Gault be coming here to Ma's place?
Her ham is really good. Actually, I'm a vegan, but realized I can eat meat in the past because the pig would be dead by the time I was born anyway. So it's totally okay.
Britt!
I'll see who it is.
Well, I'll cover you, Britt, while you open the door.
Howdy.
The sign out front says rooms. I'm looking for a place to stay.
It's him. It's him, Ma. It's him.
Well, there's not going to be any ham left if that's what he's here for. Pass the gravy.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Brett, let him inside.
Seth, gravy. Am I on my own here? I feel like I'm eating at Hometown Buffet. I miss their frozen yogurt bar. I could totes go for some froyo.
Here, this is Ma Benson. This her room and house?
Evening, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I'm full up.
And we're out of ham.
Oh, that's too bad.
There's still a lot of lima beans if you want some. I'm not wasting a cheat day on lima beans.
Thank you, miss, but I've eaten. There any place else around I might stop over, ma'am? I was only going to be here one night.
No, that is, not that I know of.
All right. I apologize for disturbing your supper.
You can take the lima beans to go.
Say, before you leave, mister, we don't mean to be nosy or anything like that, but would you mind telling us what you're doing here in Elk Point?
I got some business at the bank tomorrow.
The bank?
That's right. What are you doing with that gun, mister?
What? Oh.
He's an ancestor of Barney Fife.
Let me pick it up for you.
No. Never mind. Just leave it there. Just leave it.
Laying on the floor?
Oh, yeah, well, it ain't loaded anyway.
Sheriff Andy's got his one bullet.
Man's a fool to carry an unloaded gun. Say, what time does the bank open up in the morning?
Oh, it ain't open tomorrow. Tomorrow's a holiday.
It is? You know, all this zapping around, I keep missing so many holidays. I haven't had green beer for St. Patrick's Day. I haven't had a beer at a picnic for the 4th of July. I haven't had a beer, then gone out trick-or-treating wasted. Okay, it's beer. I want a beer.
Well, looks to me like the saloon and near the whole town is closed up tight. What holiday is it?
Well, yeah, it's kind of a special holiday, just here in Elk Point.
We should celebrate with beer.
You came from White River, didn't you, mister?
Oh, that's right. How did you... Oh, you heard about me. That I was on my way, huh? News sure travels fast, don't it?
Not in this era. All you got is the telegraph. It'd be like if memes were shared by fax.
Well, if you haven't got a vacant room, I'll just be...
You sure you can't squeeze him in somewhere, Ma?
Britt!
Might as well stay in my room. You know how many boyfriends I've had with warrants out for them?
How's that?
Well, how about it, Ma? Since some of your regulars won't be back tonight anyway.
Well, I guess I could find a place for him.
I'd appreciate it, ma'am.
Just follow me upstairs and I'll see what I can do. Madison, why don't you come with me?
Yeah, sure. It might help her walk off that huge supper she just ate.
Hey, this corset and the layers of petticoats cover up the fat better than a dozen pair of Spanx. I say, bring on dessert.
You can have this room at the end of the hall.
But it's right next to my room.
Is that a problem?
No. But I don't have any valuables, just sentimental items, like money.
This'll do nicely, ma'am. Thank you again. It's been a long day of travel. Believe I'll turn in now.
Well, good night then.
Ma, can we talk about getting a lock for my door?
Shush, we can watch what he's doing through the keyhole.
You watch your boarders through the keyholes?
Of course. And, sweetheart, what you doing in your room alone? You should get yourself a husband for that.
Why? I know how to do it right.
Look, he's opening up his satchel.
Let me see. OMG! Look at all that cash! Maybe I should rob his room.
He's counting it. You see there? The bills got slips of paper fastened around them. And the printing on that paper says, White River First National Bank.
Dang, woman! What prescription you got in those glasses that you could see that through a keyhole?
This ain't my first rodeo.
And you probably mean that literally.
Oh, and look there. Yellow leather gloves.
They totally clash with his plaid shirt.
No, don't you remember what it said on them wanted posters? Gault likes wearing yellow leather gloves.
Were you looking at his wanted poster or his Tinder profile?
We gotta tell Britt and Seth.
Hang on, he's taking off his shirt. Well, hello, cowboy.
Come on, Madison. We ain't got no time to lose.
I'm just gonna be in my room with my jacket hanging over the keyhole.
Oh, Madison.
Don't yuck my yum.
Britt, you heard what he said about my bank. He was telling us plain as day that he means to rob it. That's the way Gault is. Everybody says so. He comes right out and announces what he aims to do. That's a fact.
Well, I didn't hear him mention anything about robbing you, Seth.
You didn't? How much plainer could he make it?
Ah, dang it. All she left me is the lima beans.
Britt, Seth,
What is it, Ma?
it's Gault, all right.
Now, hold on, Ma. Hold on. You got some proof that he's Gault?
He's got stacks of cash.
Wrapped in them paper bands from the White River First National Bank.
You see, Britt? Oh, he's gonna rob my bank for sure.
He's not robbing your bank, Seth.
What do you want me to do? Wait till he tries it?
And I seen them yellow leather gloves.
The ones they say that Gault always be wearing.
Them's the ones.
And he absolutely works out. Toned biceps, strong, broad shoulders, and maybe not a six-pack, but there's some definition in those abs. I think I'm gonna go up to my room.
Madison.
Damn it, woman! I have a fantasy going in my head here. I don't want to lose it.
What are we gonna do? Are we gonna put him in jail?
Now, look, we're not sheriffs or deputies. We can't arrest somebody just on suspicion.
Britt Ponset, I'll never forgive you for this. Not if I live to be 70.
You're not 70? Girl, you gotta stay out of the sun.
Leaving me at the mercy of a killer sleeping under my own roof. We'd have been better off if you never showed up in Elk Point at all.
Now, listen, Ma.
Seth, you gotta find Ed's posse and bring him back here as soon as you can.
The posse? Look, when Sheriff Henry comes back, he can arrest this fellow if he wants to. But without proof...
What more proof do you need, Britt? Him pulling a gun on us right here in the kitchen?
Ooh, I like that. I think I could keep that scenario going. What happens after he pulls that hot steel from his leather holster?
Now, I think you all could be jumping to conclusions.
We'll see what Ed Scott and the posse has to say about it.
Heaven's sake, hurry, Seth.
You'll at least see that he don't get away, won't you, Britt?
Yeah, I'll see to it.
It's the least he can do.
Gee, I'm sorry if I got you into something, Ma, but I just can't believe for certain he's Gault.
Well, you best start believing it. Lord knows I won't be sleeping any tonight.
Afraid he might burst into your room, his cowboy hat pulled down over his eyes, his thick mustache holding back wet, luscious lips. OMG, is cornbread an aphrodisiac?
Well, Ma cleared off the table and started on the dishes. I offered to dry, but she said she'd rather do them herself. So I went into the parlor to wait. Madison sat across the room from me. She was fidgeting something awful, told me she was frustrated, and asked me some questions that were, well, rather personal in nature about me and ladies I'd known. Thankfully, Ma came in and started her crocheting. It was mighty quiet. So quiet I could hear the fellow upstairs moving around and getting ready for bed. At least that's what I'd hoped he was doing. His room was right over my head, and when the bed springs gave out a little creak, well, I felt a bit better about that. And then about 11 o'clock, the posse came riding up. Must be them, Ma.
It's about time.
A bunch of men in leather, their eyes squinted from hours of riding, a bit of stubble on their chins. No telling the last time they saw civilization and a razor.
Maybe you ladies had better wait in the kitchen in case there's any trouble.
Maybe I want trouble.
There won't be no trouble now, thanks to Seth Tooley.
Yeah, well, still might be a good idea.
Oh, all right, Britt. Come along, Madison.
I want to stay and meet the posse.
Madison?
Fine. You got any more of that cornbread?
He's still here, Britt?
Yeah, he's asleep.
You know Britt Ponset, don't you, Ed?
Yeah, sure. Now, here's the plan. The rest of the boys have got the house surrounded.
Whole house surrounded, yep.
Gault couldn't get out no matter what happened.
Uh-huh.
All right now, the three of us will go upstairs. And as soon as we get to his room, I'll kick the door open and we'll blaze away at his bed.
Oh, I love it. Tell me more.
Who the Sam Hill are you?
Madison Standish? You want to show me your gun?
Now, just hold on here a minute, Ed.
Well, what's the matter, Britt?
Seriously, back off, Britt. So, have you been riding all day? You need a massage?
How's that?
Now look, Ed, what you're talking about is cold-blooded murder.
Ooh, bad boy.
I'm just giving Gault a dose of his own medicine.
You want to play doctor?
Britt, don't tell me you still ain't satisfied that he's Gault.
Maybe he is. That doesn't matter. He's entitled to a trial, just like everybody else.
Oh, use your head, Britt. If we try taking him alive, he's bound to get one or two of us first.
Danger! So sexy.
Miss, why are you rubbing my shoulders?
Now, you all wait here. I'll bring him down to you, and I want your word that he goes to jail in one piece.
No, I can't promise nothing like that. The boys outside are pretty mad about it.
Ooh, how many boys?
Well, maybe the boys would like to shoot it out with both Gault and me,
Britt, you don't mean that.
What do you say, Ed?
Well, all right, Britt. He goes to jail.
Seth, how about it?
Sure. But if anything happens to you, you got nobody but yourself to blame. Only yourself.
All right, then.
Miss, I don't believe this is appropriate. I'm a married man.
You are? Hang on, Britt. I'm coming with you.
Oh, now, Miss Standish, I really ought to do this alone.
I'm tired of doing it alone. Come on, let's go get that sexy outlaw.
The upstairs hall was pitch dark. I moved along, quiet, quiet as I could. I was trying to remember where the doors were. It had been a couple of years since I'd stayed at Ma Benson's.
Why are you whispering?
What?
You're doing a monologue, aren't you? Why are you whispering? Unless you're saying it out loud as a play-by-play of your actions, which is just weird.
Well, I'm trying to build tension for the audience. So they feel like they're in the scene right along with me.
But you're doing it in past tense, so clearly it already happened.
Well,
You're taking too long anyway.
I hurried to keep up with her when I hooked my leg on the hall table.
Well, now he's definitely awake.
I swung the door open and brought up my gun.
Who's there? What do you want?
Stay where you are and don't reach for anything.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, don't move. The moon is glistening on your bare chest.
What's going on here? Why are you two in my room?
Hi, I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Madison Standish, room next door.
Well, I think you'd better put your clothes on.
No. I think he should stay just like that.
What's all this about? And what's the gun for?
Well, there's some boys downstairs who want to talk to you.
To me?
That's right.
All right, but I don't know anybody in these parts.
And you're not married, right?
No.
Well, see, these boys know you. Well, at least they think they do. They claim you're Stacy Gault.
Gault?
That's right.
I've never been with a guy named Stacy before. Or Britt. If you guys are up for a three-way.
That's crazy. Plumb crazy.
Who? Me or her?
You. She's, well, the words coming to my mind shouldn't be said in mixed company.
That is so hot.
Miss Standish, could you take your irons out of the fire for a few minutes while I get this sorted out?
I've waited this long.
Now, mister, why is it such a crazy notion that you're Gault?
Ain't y'all heard? Gault's in jail in White River. He was captured, locked up the day before yesterday.
You sure of that?
I ought to be. I captured him.
You?
The proof's right there in the satchel, if you'll let me show you.
I'll open it and verify. You keep your gun on him. Yeah. Just like that.
Uh-huh.
See there? Reward money from White River First National. They paid it to me yesterday.
What about these yellow gloves? These soft leather yellow gloves?
Marshal Andrews gave me Gault's yellow gloves as a sort of memento of the occasion.
I'll just keep the gloves.
Put the gloves back in the satchel, Miss Standish.
And look here. They gave me a letter of congratulations.
I've gotten congratulations, and that was from a sultan who had like 20 wives.
So you captured Stacy Gault? Pardon me if I seem like I can't believe it.
I know what you're thinking. The whole thing was, well, it was kind of accidental. You see, I'm a drummer.
I love musicians.
He's not a musician. He's a merchant who travels around selling goods to folks.
A traveling salesman? Not as sexy as a musician. More like a pizza delivery guy. I could work with that.
Yeah, well, on my travels, I come across this cabin. I didn't know it was Gault's hideout. Looked like any other cabin to me. Figured there might be some kids living there, so I was getting the samples when the door opened. I guess he thought the 6-shooter I was holding was the real thing. Of course, it did look mighty genuine for an imitation. They sure make realistic-looking toys these days.
And he didn't try to shoot it out with you or anything?
No. All he said was, "Okay, you got the drop on me." I didn't know what he was talking about, but I was too surprised to say so.
Well, how about that?
Next thing I know, he handed me his gun, and, well, it was about then Marshal Andrews come riding up. Marshal was real nice about giving me all the credit. Want to see the letter he writ?
No, but you bring that down along with you, will you? I want to see Ed Scott's face when you show him that letter.
That's it? You guys are leaving? I'm gonna need to take a cold bath in one of those giant copper tubs. I could fill it with bubbles, get nice and soapy, use one of those scrub brushes to... Okay, that's it. No more cornbread.
So I took Amos Foster, that was his name. I took him downstairs, Ed and Seth were standing at the bottom, covering us with their guns. The letter from Marshal Andrews finally convinced them, and they put their guns away and marched outside. And that was just about the unhappiest posse I ever saw. That is, until Miss Standish went running outside after them. Now, I can't rightly say what transpired, but I do know that her room at Ma's boarding house was empty that night. I haven't crossed paths with Miss Standish in my travels since that day, but I suspect she'll make some man mighty happy. Probably a good dozen men, but, well, that's not for me to say.
The Six-Shooter aired on NBC from September 1953 through June of 1954, only lasting one season and producing 39 episodes, which in today's terms is like 4 seasons of content. As entertainment in the mid-1950s moved from radio to television, casting James Stewart in the title role was part of a trend of using big-name movie stars to attract audiences back to radio. At the time, Stewart's post-war career was waning, and he jumped at the chance to play the quiet, soft-spoken wanderer of the Old West. Eventually, creator Frank Burt would bring the series to television, but without Stewart, whose film career was now keeping him too busy. The television series was renamed The Restless Gun, and Britt Ponset was changed to Vint Bonner. That series ran 2 seasons, also on NBC. Hey everybody, it's Madison. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget, we have a Patreon. For only $5 a month, you can support the show and get some really amazing Madison exclusives. Link in the show notes. But hey, I know it's hard to financially support all your favorite shows. So really, just giving us 5 stars, a nice review, or a shout out on your socials means so much. Let's get the word out that women are funny. Okay, announcer dude, roll the credits.
Madison on the Air was written and produced by Chrissy Talon Sage with music composition and audio engineering by Jeremy Sage. The role of Madison Standish was played by Chrissy Talon Sage. Scott R. McKinley appeared as Britt Ponset. Other actors in the cast were Julie Hoverson as Ma Benson, Paul Arbisi as Seth Tooley, Jerry Kokich as Amos, Scott Barry as Ed Scott, and Bran Peacock as the opening announcer.